Hi, here I am closing the second day of the International Aesthetic Masters 2017. And what a great way to close it with one of the most important speakers of the world's dental community nowadays that has brought so many changes in the way we look at our daily practice, Dr. Christian Coachman. Christian has lectured in 2015 and now is repeating his participation and is a dental technician graduated in dental technology in 1995 and in dentistry at the University of São Paulo, Brazil in 2002. He is a member of the Brazilian and American Academy of Aesthetic Dentistry. Moreover, Dr. Coachman attended the ceramic specialization program at the Ceramo Art Training Center of Dr. Dario Adolfi, where he also became an instructor. In 2004, Dr. Coachman was invited by Dr. Goldstein, Garber, and Salama of Team Atlanta to become head ceramist of their laboratory, a position he held for over 4 years. Christian worked with many leading dentists around the world as Dr. Van Duren in Belgium, Dr. Galip Gurel in Turkey, Dr. Mauro Fradiani in Italy, Dr. Nitsan Bichasho in Israel, Dr. Ricci in Italy, and Dr. Marcelo Calamiti in Brazil, and currently works at his family dental clinic in São Paulo together with his father, uncle, and brother. Also works as a consultant for dental companies and offices, developing products and implementing concepts, and has lectured and published internationally in the field of aesthetic dentistry, dental photography, oral rehabilitation, dental ceramics, and implants. Most of all, he is the developer of the digital smile design and the virtual lab concepts. Dr. Coachman will be sharing with the world the updates in a lecture called Creating Differentiation. Dr. Coachman will be sharing with the world the updates on DSD with a presentation called Creating Differentiation and a Unique Client Experience Through Technology. The future is now, and I'm sure Christian is the man to guide through that path. See you tomorrow for another intensive day starting at 8 a.m. GMT.
Hello, everybody from the International Aesthetic Master. I'm Christian Coachman, speaking from São Paulo, Brazil, and it's a pleasure to participate for the second time in this online endeavor. Congratulations to João Borges and his team, and thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to share some ideas with young professionals from all over the world. Today, what I want to talk, it's a little bit outside the box. It's not directly related to clinical dental work. I want to talk and share with you things that I learned with successful people, not successful clinicians initially, but successful people in general, successful business people, successful dentists, people that really were able to bring some marketing and business principles into their daily work, and because of that, they were able to succeed a little bit more. So let me share with you some ideas. First, starting with some questions. And as we build our practice, as we build our office, I believe that things are changing a lot nowadays. The business world is changing, the consumers are changing, technology is changing, the perception of people are changing, their goals, their desires, their wishes, everything is changing. So, since we are not only on the health business, but we are also on the service business, we are on the business of taking care of people, of trying to convince people that we know how to take care of them. So there's a lot of psychology on the process of picking your dentist. Why should I go to this guy and not that guy? Why should I pay this amount and not that amount? So on this process of making people like us, trust us, making people pick us, there's many things we need to understand. And of course, this is core, this is very important to compete on this modern, challenging market that we have ahead of us. Corporations are entering dental business. I usually say that the money people, they found our little paradise in the dental universe, and now the dental world is going to be taken over by corporations, I'm sure. Companies are really trying to provide dental service. Investors are understanding that the smile business is extremely powerful. So as a clinician, if we want to own our practice, we need to be aware of it, and we need to be prepared to compete with all these new factors that are coming into our world. So a couple of questions. As a business owner, do we understand what means the modern client behavior? What has changed on the last decade? Do we understand what means modern digital marketing, inbound marketing? What means utilizing modern tools? Because what was working with marketing 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, it's not working so well anymore today. So strategies are changing, and the way people value our message is completely different nowadays. So unfortunately, as a dentist, we need to understand that. You need to understand as a dentist that your number one skill, in my opinion, is communication skills. Every single successful dentist that I know has good communication skills. And you need to understand modern ways to improve this communication process, and most of all, understand what means becoming a good storyteller. Probably the number one key for success over here. We need to understand basics of technology, the basics that people expect when they come to us. What means the minimum infrastructure and the minimum investment that we need to do in our office to take advantage of technology. Technology without systems and protocols cannot help us. So it's not only investing in technology, doing our homework, but also creating systems, creating protocols, so technology can actually help us for real. Of course, that we need to understand from all the beautiful things that digital dentistry is bringing to us, which ones are the ones that are really generating perceived value, really making people say, wow, how can we make our clients, our community look at our work and say, wow, this is amazing because of technology. And that's a mix between incorporating technology, preparing the basic infrastructure, implementing systems and protocols, and above all, creating a connection with the client because of this technology through storytelling techniques. This will generate naturally differentiation. That's the key. We need to be different. We need to be perceived as different. Otherwise, we will be fighting for prices. We will become a commodity. So we need to understand how to create perceived value and how to create differentiation, not only for real, but in people's mind. How can we make people understand and believe we are good, we are different, we have something special to offer. And of course, since we are running a business, we need to understand basic business principles to have a healthy business. And why should we worry about all these things? Many doctors that are already running an office and maybe having already a decent office, having a decent life, good life, making good money, uh, they ask themselves, why should I worry about all these things if I've been successful for the last 10 or 20 years without all these things, or not really worrying about these things? Until the recent past, doing good dentistry was enough to stay healthy in the dental business. I believe that's not enough anymore. Just delivering good dentistry will not keep us competitive. So if we want to be in business for more than 5 years, I believe we should definitely start worrying about all these topics that I mentioned before. So yes, we should worry. The good thing is that for younger people, younger generation, people that are graduating now, all these things I mentioned are natural. These people, they're born into this new world, worrying about these new things and understanding technology, experience, perceived value, communication skills, etc. So you just need to organize these ideas to create a strategy based on these ideas. So yes, if you're not planning on leaving dentistry in less than 5 years, I would definitely worry about all these things to be able to be competitive in 5 years. As I said, things are changing, people are changing, companies are changing. That means one of the most dangerous things to do nowadays is to stay in our comfort zone. And that's the dangerous for dentists, because as dentists, many dentists, good dentists, are having a good life. So if you have a decent life, a good life, you tend to be stuck on the comfort zone, and that's the problem. What is working until today may not work to keep us having a decent life on the next 5 or 10 years. So I would definitely be worried about, am I stuck in my comfort zone? Am I putting energy not only to deliver good dentistry, but once in a while to step back, see the big picture, analyze my business, analyze my numbers, analyze my business performance, analyze my competitors, analyze what is new, and understanding how to keep moving. The key is to keep moving. It's like riding a bike. The safest way to stay in over the bike, it's not to be stuck, but it's to move forward. The more you keep this steady move, the bigger the chances of staying on top of the bike. Good new things don't come from this comfort zone, so we need to start looking for these good new things. Maybe even outside dentistry, participating on events that have nothing to do with dentistry is a great suggestion. Innovation, marketing, business, technology, people that can help us see a little bit of the future, organize our next steps. This is a very interesting research that shows that 2% of the dentists all over the world will become very, very good in what they do. 8% will become also good. So I would say 10% of the dental professional world are doing a great job. 36% of the professionals will try hard, will study, will try to become good, but will probably never get there completely. And the most amazing thing is that 54% don't care, don't really care, or don't push themselves, are not motivated to become very good. Another research, very interesting, showing that 1% of dentists will become very rich with their profession. In average, 1% only. 4 and then 5% will become independent, comfortable life. That means again 10%. So 10% of dental professionals will have a good life because of their work, because of the money that they will make with dentistry. 90% will struggle their whole life. Interesting. Now let's put these two circles side by side, and coincidentally you see on both this 10% at the top. 10% will do great dentistry, and 10% will do great money, will make great money. So of course, the natural thinking process here is, I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna study, I'm gonna become a great dentist, and then I'm gonna be at the top 10 making great money. That's the problem. In my understanding, there's no direct relationship, because I know a lot of people here inside the 54%. That means they are not great clinicians, or they don't care about the details of being a great clinician, and they are inside the 10% making great money. So that brings me to the point here. Being a great clinician is not guarantee of financial success in dentistry, unfortunately. That's even sad, I would say. My whole life I was always working hard to be a great dentist, a great technician, not really caring about money, and always thinking money is a consequence. And yes, if you do great dentistry, you may have a decent life as a professional, but it doesn't guarantee that you're going to be at the top together with the guys that are making really great money with dentistry. So there's much more involved on being very financially successful in dentistry than just being a great clinician. That's the message here. So instead of criticizing the people that are making great money, I decided I wanted to learn from them. What makes somebody make great money? Because if we are already proud of our dentistry, why not learn how to be more successful financially? So I started to learn a couple of things, and I want to share a couple of insights with you guys. First thing is that we need to plan. We need a strategy. Things don't happen, don't fall from the sky. There's no magic. You need to spend time weekly on your career strategy, not on your clinical career strategy, but on your business career strategy. So let's make a little exercise here that I think is very interesting. Okay, I'm 43 years old, and since I was little, I don't know exactly why, I always had in mind that I was going to live until I was 115 years old. That's a lot, but I'm going to stick with this plan. I'm going to really pretend here that this is going to happen. Actually, I do believe that's going to happen. But anyway, I still have 72 years ahead of me. Okay. My question is, when do you want to retire? And retirement for me is not the conventional meaning of stop working. I don't want to stop working never. Actually, I want to work until I'm 115, until the day I die. The question here is not when you're going to stop working, or the question is when working, it's not going to become an obligation. That means I'm going to have enough money to work if I want, as much as I want. So, meaning that how old I want to be to have enough money to live a decent life without having to rely on my own income with my own hands. So, the strategy here is to put a number, to put a date, to put an age. And my math is 55. So in 12 years, I want to make enough money and save enough money and have enough organization around me that will generate an income that will allow me to have a decent life without having to rely on my own hands, on my own work. And whatever I do after I'm 55 is an extra, is a bonus. I can even donate my work if I want. So I have 12 years to save enough money to have 60 years of decent life afterwards. So it's a simple exercise that puts things in perspective and takes us away from our comfort zone and makes us understand that we may be, it may be a good idea to look for better solutions, different incomes, different strategies, different business models, and not rely only on what we are doing so far. So I suggest you to make this little exercise. Sit with a friend that is very good with numbers and with business. They can help us to achieve realistic numbers, and by achieving realistic numbers, we can start creating realistic strategy. It doesn't mean it's not going to be ambitious strategies. It's very ambitious, but realistic. So a couple of questions here. Do you own a business? What means owning a business, really, as a dentist? Do you want to own your own office? What means owning a real business? We want not to own a place that we work. We want to own a business that can run even when we are not sitting in the dental chair and working ourselves. How much of your income depends on your own hands, and how much of your income in the next 5-10 years you want to depend on your own hands. How many hours a day you want to work. It's very interesting. Everything is possible. It's just a matter of creating a strategy. If you want to work less and make more money, yes, it's totally possible. You just need to start thinking about it. The problem is that sometimes we don't even think about it. We just go to work, we get our money, we enjoy life, we work again. We don't stop, we don't think, we don't plan. So we see many dentists. Actually, most of the dentists I know don't have a good balance between work and leisure. The few ones that do have are the ones that we need to talk with, learn from. So at the beginning of my career, I was always looking at mentors on the clinical side. I wanted to be behind and follow the guys that were doing amazing clinical work. And that's totally okay, and that's very good as well. But also try among your mentors to include somebody that maybe is a great clinician, maybe is an average clinician, it doesn't matter. But it's somebody that understood this balance and is very successful financially. We will learn completely different things from these people. So for how long do you want to plan to work? I already mentioned that. Is your clinic going to die with you? That's a great question. Many dental offices all over the world, they just disappear when the person retires. How can we create a business that is bigger than us, that survives after us, that we can actually do whatever we want? We can sell, we can leave for our children, we can leave to a partner, but it's something that has a business value. And the main message, or one of the main lessons that I learned from business people, is what they call the exit strategy. That's a magic word here, the exit strategy. I realized that very good business people, they open businesses already planning to sell the business. It's kind of depressive if you think a little bit about it. We as dentists, we say, no, my dental office is everything, is my baby. I don't want to sell my dental office. I'm not talking about selling your dental office. I'm talking about pretending you want to sell your office. That's the trick. So my suggestion is pretend you will sell your office in 5 years. 5 years. So once you open the office, you're going to create all the strategies that are possible. You're going to learn from business people how to prepare your business to be sold in 5 years. You're going to prepare your brand, your infrastructure, your numbers, your financial structure. Everything needs to be prepared as if you were going to sell it in 5 years. That's a great strategy, because even if we don't sell it in 5 years, by creating this mindset, you will create a scenario where your business will generate value. So in 5 years, if a business guy comes with a lot of money and say, let me see your company, let me see how much your company is worth. What I realize is that even a dentist that owns a dental office that is making great money, if they don't fulfill certain parameters that business people understand, the value will be much less than we thought it was. So again, sit with your business friend. Ask them what means exit strategy. What means preparing a business to be sold. What means thinking all the strategies to create value in the business, so one day maybe somebody will knock our door with a lot of money saying, I want to buy your business. And then you can even think about it. Maybe you will say no, but you will have a confirmation that you are on the right path, that your structure is healthy. your financial structure is healthy, your brand is healthy, your business is healthy. So, if we want to create a business that is healthy, that has value, we need to understand that we need clients. We need consumers. That's the key. That's the key for a dental clinic, dental office owner. So we need to understand that we are not, technically speaking, we are on the health business. We are taking care of teeth and gum and bite and airway and faces. That's the technical part of it. But business-wise, I believe we are on the relationship business. The doctors that are well related, they usually have a healthier business. So there's three things that need to happen to make this magic happen. People need to find us. More and more people need to find us, find our business. They need to like us. They need to like our business. And they need to trust us to become our consumers. So find us is everything related to marketing, social media, word of mouth, and strategies to spread the word that we are good, that we are here, that we do something different, we are ready for you, we are special, come visit us. Once that person gives us the honor of having their time and they step into our office for the first time, we need to create the second magic and the third magic. Like us, trust us. Because people will not treat their teeth with a doctor that they don't like. And people will not treat their teeth with a doctor that they don't trust. These two things need to happen together. That's the magic. The challenge is that this magic needs to happen super fast. Because on a first appointment, in average, I would say the doctor has 10-15 minutes chatting with the patient there. So you have those 10-15 minutes to create this magic. How can you make somebody that you don't know, that you're just meeting, like you and trust you in 10-15 minutes? That's the question. And that's what needs to happen. Maybe you're going to have more 10-15 minutes on the second appointment when you're presenting the plan and they're giving a second chance to us to engage with them. So you're talking about a few minutes on the first appointment, a few minutes on the second appointment, and after these two special minutes, these two moments with special minutes together, the patient will make the decision. This is my doctor, this is my office, this is where I'm going to put my money, this is where I'm going to do my treatment. So it's very important to understand how the brain works. And yes, as business owners, we need to study communication, we need to study psychology, we need to study human behavior, we need to study persuasion, we need to study body language, we need to study how to create connections. This is an amazing shortcut to success. Just two little things that I learned that are very important to understand is that when somebody looks at you or looks at your office or looks at the building or looks at the furniture or looks at your waiting room or looks at your staff, visually, physically speaking, the human brain needs less than 1 second to interpret that image, that person, that furniture, that environment, and the brain will judge that vision, and in less than 1 second, the brain will get to a conclusion. I like it or I don't like it visually. I think it's beautiful or I don't think it's beautiful. How amazing is that? Less than 1 second. After this first 1 second, the brain will try to rationally interpretate why I like it, why I didn't like it. But this is an interpretation. The impact is already gone. It's already done. It already happened. Emotionally speaking, it's interesting to see that usually in around 3 minutes of interaction, chatting with somebody, that person will already get to a conclusion. I like that person. I don't like that person. How cool is that? So you can talk to a person for 1 hour, but the first 3 minutes are the most important. Those initial minutes will dictate if the person liked you or not. And both ways, on the visual area and on the emotional area, this first impact is the strongest. Meaning that whatever they feel, whatever was their judgment on that first visual minute and on that first emotional minute, that impression will stick in their brain and it's going to be very hard to change. Very hard to change. You can change, but it's going to take a lot of energy. So when you see somebody for the first time and you're feeling good, and the first 3 minutes you did very good on your communication, body language, your expressions, that person will tend to like you more than an average person. And even if you mess up later on, you're going to tend to have a good reputation with that person because the first impact was strong, and vice versa. So we need to focus on the first moment when we meet people for the first time, and this is crucial for dental business. It's also crucial to understand that modern clients are different. People are different nowadays. They're different than when my father was a young dentist or my grandfather was a dentist. At that time in the past, I believe people were not really judging their dentist. They were just going to the dentist without thinking. It's like you were the family dentist. So my father was going to this dentist. I go to this dentist. I go there. I open my mouth. They do their work. I leave. Nowadays, it's completely different. People are researching. People have Mr. Doctor, super powerful Google as their partner in any kind of decision-making process. They will try to get as much information as they can before they make major decisions. This decision will be part driven by rational factors, but mainly driven by emotional factors. So people are moved by emotions, and people usually make important decisions because of emotions. So what is the thing here? We need to understand how the human brain, the modern human brain, behaves on the decision-making process. One important thing is to understand that modern clients are not only looking for great clinical work. Modern clients are looking for a whole unique experience. So as a dental provider, we need to understand that we are an experience provider. So going to our office should be an amazing experience that involves all different senses. If we understand that and we work with that, the chances are much higher that people will love coming back to us. And why the experience is so important? Because people are used to having great experiences nowadays. We are all spoiled. Everything we live today is great. Just an example, 100 years ago, we didn't have air conditioner. Can you imagine living without air conditioner? And people were happy with it. And people were having a great life, living in the middle of nowhere without air conditioner, super hot, super cold, bugs, all kinds of stuff. So our sense of happiness has changed. Nowadays, if you spend one day without air conditioner, you're going to be miserable. So we are spoiled. Companies know that, and companies are spoiling us even more. All these amazing brands that you see here, all these amazing companies, they're not focused on only creating a great product. They're focused on creating an amazing experience. When you go to the Apple store, many times people are going to the Apple store not even when they don't want to buy anything. They just want to go there and feel that experience for a while. You go to a fancy car store, you have an amazing experience. 5-star hotels, 3-star Michelin restaurants, fashion stores, spas, amazing experience all over. So our consumers are having great experiences as they go to all these brands, and then they step into the dentist, and the dentist doesn't care about their experience. We just care about delivering great dentistry. So the experience drops. That's why the few doctors that understand that, the few clinics that understand that are really striving, are really growing, because they keep the level of experiences for their clients. They are coming from all these amazing experiences, and the level of the experience stays high in these super cool, modern new dental offices. That's the key. So because of that, I started to research, brands and associations that were experts on creating experiences. It's super cool, for example, to understand how the Michelin Guide selects their Michelin restaurants. It's not only about the food, it's about a combination of factors. The same thing with hotels, how a five-star hotel becomes a five-star hotel. This is a great lesson for our staff, for ourselves, how to exceed people's expectation, how to create the wow effect from A to Z. And dental offices should be prepared to create the same kind of feeling. That's why I usually say, since people don't like to go to dentists, people don't like emotionally to remind themselves that they are at the dentist, our dental offices shouldn't look like dental offices. Looking like a dental office works against us. So, very simple. Let's create dental offices that don't look like dental offices at all. That will work in our favor, and that will help people feel comfortable emotionally in our office. So for me, it's very important to understand that yes, we can lose patients because of price, but the real good patients that we are losing, we're not losing because of money. We are losing because of lack of service, and even more, I would say, lack of a cool experience. Think about that. So, clinical quality, unfortunately, is not a guarantee anymore of professional success. The most successful dentists that I know are not necessarily the best clinicians I know. Being a good clinician is not a strong differentiation anymore. There's so many great clinicians out there. It's an obligation. We need to be a good clinician, ethically speaking. But beyond that, we need to differentiate ourselves as well. And we need to understand what makes our clients believe we are the best. Yes, delivering a great treatment will help at the end of the treatment to make this patient understand we are good. But unfortunately, on the first, second appointment, when they are making the decision of, yes, I want to do my treatment here, or no, I don't want to do my treatment here, our clinical work is not happening yet. So our clinical skills will not help on the process, on the decision-making process of making people say yes to us. So we need to work and understand how to help people understand we are very good. And if they choose us, they're going to have an amazing experience with us. And one of the major skills to make this magic happen is what we know related to communication skills. Most of the successful people I know have great communication skills. It's like a passport to success, communication skills. So we need to understand how to improve communication in all different levels, and we need to understand that usually dentists are not experts on communication. We are experts maybe on communicating dentistry to other dentists, but we are not experts on communicating dentistry to non-dentists. We are not experts on improving and incorporating communication protocols to improve the relationship with our specialists, with our staff, with our clients above all. And it's very important that we understand that the most powerful communication process is visual communication. So for us, it doesn't make sense to waste words without images, to waste saliva without having images to support every word that we are expressing. So it's totally worth to create a visual communication strategy to support us when we are trying to convince people about something. That's how business people do. They prepare a visual presentation to support their business plan, for example. That's how Steve Jobs did beautifully when he was launching every single product. Amazing, cool, simple, effective visual communication to have people emotionally engage with his message. So we need to learn from that. Another thing that we need to learn, not only how to use images to communicate, but how to use storytelling techniques. That's probably the key factor of modern marketing, modern communication. It's an ancient strategy, but it's the most modern strategy possible. Human beings have been created to fall in love with stories. Since we are babies, we listen to stories from our moms and we fall in love with them. We go to the movies to listen to beautiful stories. We love our friends that are good storytellers. Everything becomes better with stories. So, understanding the power of storytelling is probably one of the key factors for success. So, we need to understand what are the basic skills that we need to practice or how to create a good storytelling strategy on our website, on our front desk, on our waiting room, on our social media, on our blogs, on our Facebook, on the business meetings, when we go out, when we meet our friends at the bar, when we go to social events, when we connect with new people, when we are interacting with the patient on a first appointment, second appointment, when we send out an email marketing, when we send out an internal marketing, when we send a message on WhatsApp. It doesn't matter. Everything can be structured utilizing storytelling techniques, and that will help us getting our message through, achieving our goals, making people stop and listen to what we want to say. So storytelling is it's the key. It's really something that I suggest people to invest a little bit of time researching and understanding how to incorporate some of these techniques on your daily life, on the relationship with your family, with your kids, with your staff, with your technician, and of course, from our business standpoint, with our patients. Why stories are so powerful, why they are so important. They're memorable. Mental images related to stories, they can trigger the brain in a positive way. People will remember and people will enjoy remembering. When we create stories with context, stories increase the meaning of our message. So if you want to send out a message, use storytelling to create a link between the context and the person that we want to reach out. It's much easier to memorize the vision of the story. So when the message is related to a good story, people can close their eyes and remember what you said. And that will have a strong power over anybody that listens to you. So, as we can learn here from Edgar Dale, the greater the number of senses that we engage and the greater the interactivity, the greater the learning and retention rate. And nowadays, this cannot be more powerful than that. The amount of information out there is so big that the problem is not anymore sending out a message, is being heard among thousands of messages. When we scroll down our Facebook, our Instagram, hundreds of posts are passing by without us even bothering, without us seeing them. We want our message to be seen. So we need to understand how to connect, how to engage, so how to increase this retention rate. And this is a beautiful sentence here after nourishment, shelter, and companionship. Stories are the thing that we need most in the world. I totally get it and I totally agree with that. So this is not the point here today, but I strongly suggest you to learn the basics of storytelling and understand how this can impact the way you structure your communication processes in all levels. And as I learned from my dear partner and marketing officer, Brandon McDonald, clarify your message. If you confuse, you lose. People are not drawn to the best products or services, they're drawn to the ones they can understand the fastest. That's how our brain works. We want fast understanding to make fast decisions. The human brain is attracted to clarity. Couldn't agree more. communicating clearly is the fastest way to grow. Communicating clearly is the fastest way to grow. So you need to ask yourself, what is your main message on every sentence you're speaking? Why you're expressing that sentence? What is your goal with those words? And then you can create a strategy to create clarity. This generates fastest growth. The framework of how to build a storyline together with the proper context and content, understanding exactly who is the person on the other side, who's your client, who is the person you are communicating to. That will help you customize this message and create a clear message. So that was my message today. I hope I was able to share with you some insights, and hopefully I can see some of you in the near future with us at the DSD courses. We've been working a lot on these ideas, business strategies, marketing strategies, of course, clinical strategies, incorporating these ideas on our daily work, digital dentistry, emotional dentistry, interdisciplinary dentistry, teamwork, preparing our staff to succeed. All these amazing topics we've been covering in our DSD courses, DSD residency courses. But keep in mind that it doesn't matter if it's technical, if it's clinical, if it's treatment planning, if it's team building, if it's patient interaction, if it's marketing, if it's business, it's all about communication. Okay? See you around. All the best. Cheers.